little town blues are melting away. That's right, we're going to New York today, y'all. Hi, my name is Andrew Hawkrattle, and welcome to the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge. We made it. I know that we had some difficulties, but we have persevered. That was the weirdest way to say that word. And we are all the way through. Hello, yes, nice to see you. Lots of friends in chat tuning in from New Zealand, from South Carolina, from Bathurst. Let me know where you're watching from, and let me know that you are watching. Today we are heading out to, that's right, New York, the Big Apple. It's going to be a great time, and I'm going to be showing you how to create marquee letters that glow. We're going to put some glowing bulbs in them and show you how you can layer effects in Illustrator using blending modes to create some really dynamic typography. So let's go ahead and talk about how you can get involved and talk about what these are. If you're just joining us for the first time, this is the Daily Creative Challenge for Adobe Illustrator. We do these every single day, usually at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. We're also doing them tonight at 7 p.m. Sydney time. So thanks for joining us. And the way that you can get involved is right here. You can go to behance.net/challenge/illustrator to get involved and to get all the info that you need. You also can scroll down here and see all of the lessons if you've missed any. We've been on a world tour to Paris, Sydney, Melbourne, USA, Egypt, Brazil, and today New York. Tomorrow we're going to India, and then we'll finish out our world tour in Canada, checking out the Northern Lights. So join us for all of those for the next few days. And hello, Jack, welcome. So make sure that you tune back in for those, set a reminder, or even better, you can click this button right at the top and it will send you a ding reminder every single time that we have a new challenge that is going live. Now, another way that you can get involved is to participate in these challenges and join our thriving community, which is right here, bit.ly/AI Discord. That's our Discord. It's a forum. It's a place for you to get connected, to get plugged in, to meet creatives that are like-minded, that are trying things, that are learning and growing. And we can look right here and see, here we are. This is us. But we can see people that are posting their challenges from yesterday of picking out color schemes. Looks gorgeous. And even asking questions, putting in more of the challenges that we've been working on. So when you're done, this is where I want to see your work. This is where I want to see your glowing typography with that beautiful marquee letters. Now, there's one more thing that I want to show you, and that is Adobe Max. It's coming up October 20th to the 22nd. There's going to be some great content there. I'll be speaking, so you can sign up, register, and then add me to your calendar, and let's hang out in one of my sessions. All right, I think that might be it for announcements today. We're going to hop in. We got a lot to cover, so make sure that you tune in, that you have your notes ready. Maybe you have Illustrator open. We're going to be doing a ton of stuff all over the place, working with typography today. So let's continue on our journey. And again, on my streams, there's no wrong answers. Feel free to explore, to try new things, to break Illustrator, to do something that doesn't work, and then figure it out from there. No wrong answers, only creativity, only learning, and only good lessons learned. So we are going to hop in. We have a lot of fun on the stream, but we also learn a lot. So we're going to have a little bit of fun as we transition into our lesson today. And that's right, we are going to New York, New York. Oh, hello. Welcome back to New York. That's right, we are here. I am the Phantom of the Illustrator today for you. I miss Broadway. I know a lot of people miss Broadway. I know that our friends that are in the theater community are missing Broadway as well. So I figured I'd bring a little bit of Broadway to you. So we are here in New York, and as you can see, there are some glowing signs behind me. Now, when we're translating things from the real world into Illustrator, into a digital means, sometimes we need to think of all of the elements that we see in signs like this as simple shapes with effects put on them. So we need to understand and know the effects so that we then can translate that into a digital means. And I actually can't see because I'm not having my glasses on, and I want to be able to read chat. So this is going to come off, now we're just a regular New Yorker, just a regular old New Yorker. And where's the cape? The cape the cape has had some troubles. That's where the cape has. And yes, the Andrew of the Illustrator is here and ready to go with our lesson today. So let's go ahead and hop over into Illustrator. If you haven't downloaded our source file, you do need it today, and you can get that at behance.net/challenge/illustrator. And yes, good point there. As the Incredibles say, no capes. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into Illustrator right now. There we go. So today our challenge is to design a light bulb marquee with glowing typography inspired by New York City. New York City. That's right. The one and only New York City. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to build out some letters, and then we're going to start applying effects and layers to those letters to try to give it that glowing marquee feel. Now I'm just going to do my name, so I'm just going to do H-O-C-H because it's quick and easy. But when you're doing custom typography, here's what I recommend for you to do. Pull out a couple rulers. And from there, what you're going to do is you're going to start out with your base shapes. You're going to start out with a circle, a rectangle, and a triangle. Those three shapes will dictate how you build all of the letters out, right? So we're going to grab a circle, and we could do just a regular circle if we wanted something that was more futuristic. We can do something that's very thin if we want something tall and modern. We can do something that's squatty, right? If we want to do something that feels like oblong and kind of wonky. But today we're going to do something that looks a little like Art Deco, kind of classic, with a kind of oval O. So we're going to select this and hit Shift and X to switch it to a stroke. And from there, we're going to use our stroke tool to just bump up that stroke. And here, again, we're just trying to figure out how this communicates and how it feels. Since we're doing stuff inside, I'm going to go ahead and set that pretty thick. And from here, now with the circle, now I'm going to do a rectangle. Now I want the rectangle to be pretty much the same width as this circle. So I'm going to leverage my smart guides that are happening right here and just make a rectangle across right there. So now I have a rectangle that is the same width. What we do need to do is bring in a ruler, that's the word that I want. We need to bring in a ruler to the top and bottom of this so that we can see where it's sitting. And once we have that, now we have the basis for letters like B, H, T, all the characters that are basically rectangles. Now the third one we want to do is a nice little triangle, and that will dictate like our A. So we're going to go into the polygon tool and just do a three-sided polygon. And from here, I'm going to drag out, and again, using this O as my reference point, I'm going to kind of just play around with where I want this kind of shape to go. And let's say that it is the same width right there. That A is going a little bit too tall, so over here in the stroke, I'm going to go ahead and cap it right there. Or we can change the meter limit. So changing the limit to 1 is actually going to pull those edges in very nicely so that we don't have crazy edges. So that looks pretty good. Let's bring it down just a little bit so that we can have the top there. There we go. So now we have the three basic shapes. Out of here, we can build all of pretty much the other letters, right? We have A, we have a B is a combination of these two, C is this, D would be a combination of these two, E is here, F is here, G is here, H, I, we could build an I that looks like this. There we go. J is going to be a combination of here and there. So you can see that these shapes dictate your entire alphabet, and you just leverage them to build out the other letters that you need. So this is how make custom type very easily. The other thing that we want to do is we actually want to take this O, and we want to do something called Overshoot, where we click and drag, and it comes up just a little bit. So optically, when we turn off these guides, we want it to look the same size. And this O, even though it's a little bit higher, will optically look the same size. So we can go in and augment this just a little bit and see what we can come up with. And there we go. Even though it looks taller, it's going to look the same size because of the way that that O curves. So I encourage you, build out custom type, build out your name, and see what you can do using these simple shapes. So I'm going to grab these two because that's really all that I need. And from here, I am going to Very simply, draw a crossbar across here. I'm going to delete the top and bottom lines. I'm going to grab these and pull them up to the top here. And check that out. Just like that, out of our rectangle, we have an H. I'm going to use that H again, so I'm just going to drag it over here. And then for the C, I'm going to drag this O. And what I'm actually going to do is make a shape here, and I'm going to use this as a guide to see where I hit on that line. So I'm going to select my O and add a couple anchor points right where it intersects those lines, and delete this anchor point here. When I go back out, now I have a nice C that is sitting right there. So we've made some custom type very quickly and very easily, and now we can come in and kern, which is just the distance between the letters. So you pay attention, make sure that it is optically kerned. When you look at it, it feels all even. And this is pretty much what we want. This looks pretty good to me. I'm actually going to bring this H down just a tiny bit and then up a little bit on the bottom so that we have some overshoots with those other two. All right, so this is looking real good. Let's go ahead and grab this and copy it over here. Nope. Let's go ahead and grab this and copy it over here. There we go. So what we want to do here is as we scale this, we want to hit Command K, and that is going to bring up our panel of options. We can either scale strokes and effects, or we can leave it. Here we do want to scale strokes and effects so that as we scale, those lines will actually get a little bit thinner to fit onto our marquee. We're going to change that stroke to white and then align it just to the center right here. So I'm going to ungroup these and kind of play around to make sure that we are spacing it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I always count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Sure. All right, cool. So now what we're going to do is we are going to outline these. Select one, go to Object and Expand. And now we have expanded versions of these. We can combine all of these different pieces that we have using the Pathfinder tool to build our own custom letter. And from here, I'm going to show you just with the O how to make the glowing marquee, and then you can build out the rest of your letters. So with the O, we're going to copy and make a paste. We are going to paste in place, Command Shift V. And here we have the O. You'll see I'll make these all different colors so you can see them. So now we have two O's. We've clicked and dragged using the click and drag where it makes a copy. And we're going to go to Object, Blend, and Make. Now from here you can see it doesn't have enough options, and so we're going to go to Blend, Blend Options, Specified Steps, and do about 50 steps. There we go. So now we are going to send this to the back using Control and bracket, send it behind that O, and I'm actually going to make this a light gray, and then use the multiply feature. So multiply is great for showing shadows because it shows what's underneath a little bit. Let's make that a little bit lighter. There we go. So we got a nice little shadow showing what's underneath. Now we want to create some dimension. So what we can do is we can come here, grab this shape. Again, we're going to copy and paste in front. And instead of having a fill, we're just going to put a stroke on here. Let's go ahead and make it a brown stroke. Let's do brown and orange. So we're going to make a brown stroke and just make that a bit thicker, like right there. Looks good to me. And then let's go ahead and fill the shape underneath with orange. That looks good. Let's do blue. Yeah, let's do blue and orange. That looks good. All right, so we have blue and orange looking good there. How do you multiply again? Over here on the transparency panel, just change that blend mode to multiply right there. So what we're going to do next is we're going to create that sense of dimension. And what we can do is we're going to grab a copy of this background of this base right here. And let's go ahead and make this that dark gray so that you can see it. And what we're doing here is we're thinking of the layers, the elements, right? We have the back, we always have a shadow, we have the kind of that lip that comes up, and then we have the bulbs that have a shadow and a glow as well. So with this, we are going to make a copy holding Shift and Alt or Option. And you can see we're going to move it 20 down and 20 to the right. That looks good. And from here, we are actually going to punch the top out of the bottom. So we're moving this to almost create a shadow. And you'll see here in a second, when I multiply, there we go. Now we have this awesome shadow when we bring the stroke back up front. So now we have this nice dimensional shadow. The stroke is a little bit too wide, actually. So let's bring it right there. We have this awesome shadow inside the letters to show that there is some dimension happening here. We're going to make this a little bit lighter. Why not? There we go. And from there, we are going to start building out our bulbs. Now, the bulbs are going to be a combination of a bunch of different things. We're going to do circles, we're going to put glows, inner glows, outer glows, all kinds of glows. So let's go ahead and build those out just using a simple circle, right, which is basically what a light bulb is. And we are going to make that just straight up yellow. Now, we also want to have the same shadow that's happening in the background. So with this, we can down and right about 10 pixels. And yes, this video is going to get a rewatch, absolutely. So holding Shift and Alt, I just made a copy to those pixels, and we are going to use the eyedropper tool to grab that same gray and then multiply it as well, put it behind the light, and now we have that nice little glowing light with a shadow. So here, we want this light to have some glow, so we're going to do some effects. We're going to go to Effect, Stylize, and we're going to do Inner Glow. From here, we're going to do an inner glow that is a little bit lighter of a yellow. So we're going to hit OK, and you can see that it is going from the edge. So that's not quite what we want. We want it to come from the center. And as we change this, you can see that it actually makes it a little bit bigger or smaller depending on what we're wanting. I actually want it at like 1.8. Let's do 1.5. There we go. So a little bit of glow, and we're going to hit OK. So now you can see with that inner glow, we have a little bit of glow on that light bulb. With this selected, we're going to go back to Effect, Stylize, Outer Glow this time. And the outer glow we are going to change to a really bright yellow. And we are going to take this down because the blur is way too big. So there we go. Let's take it to 0.15, just normal opacity mode at 100%. I believe it's on screen by default, so you need to change that to normal. And we're going to hit OK. And now we have an awesome glowing light. Looks good to me. So we're going to select this. We're going to select the shadow that lays behind it. And a lot of people don't know this, so check this out. Did you know that if you click on an object, right, and you hold Control, you can actually click down and it will select objects below it. So it will keep clicking through whatever is stacked there, right? So I'll do that one more time. If I click on the top, now I have the top shape. If I'm holding Control, I click again, and you see that little like bracket that shows up. If I keep clicking, it will start selecting whatever is behind that. So now I have the shadow, and now I have the shape all the way behind that. So when you're doing selections, super easy to grab this one, double click holding Shift or holding Control, and then I can grab the top one back as well. So from here, we can just drag these and put them exactly where we want them. Actually, let's do one more. Let's do one more large gradient here. Just do a large gradient like this. Drop in a gradient, and here we're just adding in the glow. So we're going to add in just full-on yellow, and on one side, change the opacity to 0. There we go, and you can see that now it has a nice little glow on top of that. And again, using Control, we can click on the top one, hold down Control, and click through until we have that back one. We can select the top one there, and if we need to, we can go to Outline Mode, Command Y, and yes, and then we can group those all together so that we can just keep making copies. And let's pull these down. You can see that it's starting to affect those shadows underneath. That's exactly what we want, is to affect those shadows as if these were real glowing lights. So we're looking good here. I'm just going to drag these down and keep doing different, there we go, different placements of these. And we're going to add in one more special element at the end of this to show you kind of how you can layer things up with your compositions. So there we go. We've got some glowing lights. It's looking pretty good to me. And actually, with this stroke, let's go ahead and make this a dark blue just so it fits a little bit better with what we are working with there. Let's do that blue. There we go. That's a nice little edge. So now you can see that it's glowing in there, but we want kind of maybe a blue to be glowing off of this shape. So what we can do is with this blue shape selected, we can copy and we can paste in front. And now we have our original O that is sitting there. That's what we want, our original O. And we're going to change the color to 100% black. So just drop it all the way in the corner. This is a little tip and trick that you can use in Illustrator. So this is all the way black. What I want to do is take the whole sign and make it glow a little bit of that blue color. So what I'm going to do is go to Effects, I'm going to go to Stylize, and I'm going to do Outer Glow. And here we're going to select a blue color. Sure, that looks good to kind of make it a neon on that side. And we're going to make this a very big blur. So make it really glow, super high level blur, and then mode in normal and the opacity at 100. So we hit OK. Now we are going to leverage the power of transparency of blend modes. And we are, yes, I finally have my name up in lights. Thank you, Flynn. And so with the black, what it's going to do is when we change to screen, screen is a blending mode that takes all of the black and basically knocks it out and it keeps any other color. So if we change to screen, you'll see that it knocks out all the black. Now we have that gorgeous blue glow around the whole shape. Now again, there is a shape here. You can see in the preview that there is a black shape here. It just has the glow on it. So when we use the screen, it takes the black away. So again, super handy. If we want to select one of these lights, right, we feel like this light's a little bit too low, we can hold Control and click through until we get to the group of lights, and then we can simply move that around. There we go. So move it right there. So super easy to augment those. And now we have an awesome glowing marquee that you can put your name in lights. So what I want to see you do is make your own glowing marquee. And maybe in here, actually, let's do one more thing. Why not? Let's select this and change the, actually, let's lock this. So the top layer is our glow. We're going to lock that hitting Command 2. We're going to Object and Lock. And with one of these glows, actually with all of these, let's do that. So with all of these, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of the lights, and I want it to be a little bit crispy. So let's see if we can get this to work. We'll go to Effect, we will go to Texture, and then add a little bit of grain. So let's see what happens here. It should work. We want our grain pretty low and the contrast up. We want soft. And we can zoom in here actually and see what that looks like. So we've got some nice glow there. We're going to hit OK. And it added a little bit too much for my liking, but we have some great noise that's happening with our shapes. They are looking good. Let's see if we click through all the way here and change this to something like color burn. All right, that's looking good. So it got a little bit not as crispy as I was hoping for it to do, but we can go into Photoshop especially and add some extra texture, some extra glowing. We can even animate it if we want. So the great thing about this too is check this out. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off. There we go. So what we can do is, because it's so similar, we can literally just grab these. And again, this is why we build all of our letters off of the same shapes. We can just grab these and be like, boom, done. And now we have all of the lights for our C. I'll probably have to drag a couple of those around. Now we have the lights for the C. Again, we can come in here, grab the same blue that we have, and then build it out the same way. So you're just thinking of what layers you're building on top and then converting that to all of the other letters. So make your name in lights, make it glow, make it gorgeous, and then if you want to, oh, everything's pixelated on your screen. Not sure why that would be happening. So sorry about that. And so once you are done, you can come in here. You can select this. We can go to Edit, Edit Colors, Recolor Artwork. And maybe here we want our glow to be more white. So we want to do more of a white gray. You can see that it's changing that out. Maybe the background, we want to be a little more of this dark gray. See what that looks like. It's blending into the background. So maybe we want it to just be a white sign. Maybe our bright yellows, we want to be full white, and that way they really glow. There we go. And then maybe the outer glow changes to this white as well. And then our stroke that we have here can go to a kind of dark. So there we go. Now we've changed it to a black and white sign that has all of those perfect glows on there for us as well. So keep playing around with this. And we are in Illustrator, yes. And yes, I am a speed demon. Sorry if I go too fast. You can always rewatch these after the fact on behance.net/live or over on the YouTube channel. So there we go. It's got a little bit of darkness with the light glowing. So play around with yours, and what you can do is right here, go to bit.ly/AI Discord. It's the place to be to post your work. We'll be going live a little bit later tonight to do some reviews of your work. And you can see people are posting their challenges. And yes, we don't have any from this morning, but they will be coming in hopefully, and we'll do a review. We'll hang out and just have a grand old time. We'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same place, to do a challenge. With India, we'll be using the rotate tools and making an extraordinary design tomorrow. So make sure you tune in for that, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time or noon Sydney time. We will see you all again tomorrow on the next Adobe Live. Bye.
Then again, similar